Dan, it's a start in the Six Nations against Italy at home. I guess for a player, it doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's my first start at home for Ireland, and yeah, it's I'm massively looking forward to it, especially after the good one we had against France last week.
You've had an absolutely wonderful season. Talk to us about where your form has come from, how you've got to this level, how you hope to keep it going.
Yeah, it's been kind of up and down. I got injured quite early on in the season. Came back, played a few games, and right before the November, I had a little bit of hamstring trouble and missed the whole November series. But I've got back into the swing of things well, and I've had a few pretty solid performances over the Christmas period, and I find myself in a pretty good position now. So yeah, it's just hard work, working a lot one-on-one with the coaches, and getting feedback and trying to improve little 1%ers every day, and it's starting to pay off.
And when you do what you did, say, against Exeter in the Champions Cup at the Aviva, to come off the bench and do what you did, does that give you a bit of confidence? Is that kind of a mark along the road? Does that show to you and indeed the coaches that the work that they're doing with you and you're doing is working out?
Yeah, absolutely. I took a lot of confidence from that. It was my first game back, but I had been training in the environment in Leinster for a few weeks prior to that. So it's just all about being able to perform when you get an opportunity, because there's always injuries and people come in and out of a team, especially with the way the game's going these days, how attritional it is. So you got to be ready to take your opportunity, and I hope to do that this Saturday. And
opportunities are pretty tight among the back row in Leinster in Ireland, so obviously it's a good one to get. Regards back row, sometimes we say that guy's a ball carrier, sometimes we say that guy's more defensive. Do you have to kind of be a bit of everything though? You can't really be defined by one thing, can you?
Yeah, I was about to say, with competition and the depth that Ireland and Leinster have, you can't really afford to be just a defensive player. You have to be able to excel in all aspects of the game. Otherwise you mightn't get picked. You can't really leave much stones unturned, and you've got to be able to provide in every aspect.
And what was the feedback that Joe gave you coming into this season in the last couple of weeks and months? Because we know he does that with players. Jack Conan has spoken about it. Obviously he's starting with you this week. What kind of things has he been telling you to do? What does he want more of?
More of the same. It's one thing, I need to keep my discipline, keep in the game. But there's small little things. He's generally quite happy with the play. But this is a really good opportunity for me now. I need to just get on the ball and be as disruptive as I can in defence as well. And
finally, from me, this week against Italy at home, do you expect it to be a bit different to last week's kind of really attritional warfare against France? Do you expect to try and get the ball going a bit quicker? What will be the differences, do you think?
I don't think it's going to be different in the fact that it's going to be hugely attritional as well. I think Italy are a serious outfit, and the scoreline doesn't really reflect how the game went against England. England had one or two breakaway tries, and Italy also had one called back for a forward pass. So I think it is going to be a seriously tough test, and it's not one we're going to overlook. And so it's all hands on deck for Saturday.
And what stood out most from that Italy performance that you mentioned there against England?
Pardon?
When you reviewed the game, what stood out most from that Italy performance?
You can see they're, with Conor O'Shea, they're a seriously well-coached team. They have some serious standout players. Negri, Namamba and Parise in the back rows. They're all really, really good players. So we got to respect them, but we also have to, come up and pressurise them and, make them play at a very high tempo.
And you saw how England, they kind of put the foot on the gas there in that kind of final quarter of the game. Is that maybe something similar that you'd expect on a Saturday? Just it'd be very attritional for the first half and the opening quarter of the second half, and then kind of push on.
We're not really expecting anything. We just know it's going to be a really tough battle. We'll take our scores when we can get them, and we'll try to keep them under the pump for 80 minutes if we can. Yeah.
Dan, how nuts was that last year? This is not your first Six Nations game, because it was the England game, but how crazy was that for you to just get called in? Because I remember Joe talking about how weird it was when Jamie pulled him up. What was that like for you? Because you would have been maybe just in your civvies, I suppose, and then you got called in, you're on the bench.
Yeah, I wasn't in my civvies, but it was a bit mad. Usually when you're kind of 24th, you're looking at a player who might be carrying a niggle or whatever, trying to keep an eye on him, and if he doesn't pull through, you might know. But you know, for me, that was really a last ditch. I was going to say effort, but I was walking in after the warm up, thinking, you know, I wasn't going to be playing, and Joe kind of taps me on the shoulder and said, "How you feeling?" And I was expecting him to say something like, "Oh, you might get a shot next year, or November will be your opportunity, or whatever." And he kind of just said, "Jamie's pulled up, get the 20 jersey on." And then about 3 minutes later, I was walking out in the tunnel, and it was a bit of a shock to the system. I was pretty rattled for a few minutes, but you know, once the game got going, you know, I knew my role inside out. I've been in camp for the whole Six Nations, and it was, you know, it's the same as every other game. But yeah, it was a little bit it was a bit nuts, to use your own words. Yeah.
Given the opportunity that you speak of, are you going to put pressure on yourself on Saturday to kind of go out there and stamp your mark on the game, or is that kind of sort of your mentality?
Not any more than any other game. You know, I think I'm in the position I am for a reason, so I don't need to go out and reinvent the wheel and go start doing my drop goals and stuff like that. I'll leave that to Parise. So yeah, just keep doing what I'm doing, work hard, and hopefully reap some rewards.
Do you think about these things a lot? Like obviously Josh being out now is opening up a good window for yourself, and you've spoken about wanting to grasp this opportunity now in an Ireland jersey. Do you think about those things, or do you just focus on the next game?
No, you got to look at it game by game. And at the moment, I'm just focusing on the Italy game. You know, we can't afford to slip up with what we eventually want to achieve. So, yeah, Italy first, and then we'll see how the body is, and we'll see how we go for next week.
What is it about Parise that makes him such a great player? He's obviously been at the top of the game for such a long time, hasn't he? He's still putting in, isn't he?
Yeah, he's obviously hugely experienced, but he's been, you know, one of the top players in the tournament for as long as I can remember. Hugely skilled, hugely driven, and he's tough as well. So I think all those characteristics put together, combined with leadership, and you know, he's a serious talisman for Italy. Yeah.